If you are ignorant about the Black American, sit down with one. Associate with one, get to know them. And if you out there are ignorant about Africans, find one, associate with one, not just one, because the one you might pick sometimes might be very ignorant. Associate with a few others, go to that event, get to know them, because we all depend on each other.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second topic we'll be dealing with today. You see, we're still on the same clothes. Because, we have the opportunity to sit down today and we want to do as much topic as possible. And still, I've still got Sonny, the special Sonny Shinez with me. And he has been always my source of, it's a golden ball of information. And I need to tap into him and get some information. And Sonny is... somebody that's vast, well-read, and then, he's always sending me back and forth. He finds things I send to me and I send to him also, and we are always communicating. And I am an African, he's an African-American. We are all black people. So right now we're going to be talking about do Africans hate African Americans and vice versa? Do African Americans hate African? Do we have a huge divide within us? Well,
because there's so much.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it because it's a lot. There's a lot going on, especially online. There's this infighting online, and then we want to settle this matter right now because I've got my punching gloves on, ready to knock somebody out.
I know, right?
So let's get into it. So, Sonny, tell me, what's your perspective on this issue? I hear some things about Africans looking down on African Americans, and vice versa. Africans also saying Black Americans like to look down on Africans. So talk to me.
Well, I'm going to start with my point first, and then I'm going to go into some of the things that I've also seen, the points that people make, right? I know that we're at war, and I know that our enemy wants to keep us divided. So anyone that wants to solve this war, because us with the infighting keeps us distracted, right? And there are different levels to war. You know what I mean? Like read The Art of Warfare and the Art of Warfare, Sun Pen, The Art of War, Sun Tzu. Read these books and see. These are books that our enemies study as well. One of the key things is that we have to be separated, right? We have to
divide and conquer.
Right. So I'm going to start with that. Now, let me give you the Black American perspective, right? Which is not only my perspective, but also with what I've seen with other people and things like that. Black Americans are really focused on America, right? That's one of the main issues, right? And when you have people coming into your country, right, and you don't know what's going on, and you're seeing color first, because in America, you're being taught about color, right? So when you come into America and you're receiving benefits and things that we have fought for, right? Because nobody is coming to America that is Asian, that is European, that is African without, like, I'm speaking real, without what is known today as the Black American, being forced to build this country, which is the United States, right? So I just got to say that first. Now, let me get to the point. It's not so much that Black Americans hate Africans. That's not what the issue is. I think Black America has been that, and I've also been told this by various Africans living here. We're in Berlin, Germany. We're looked at as the spearhead or the arrow tip of quote unquote Black people globally, right? And at certain times, though, you do have people that want to come and say, oh, we're lazy. Oh, we don't want to go back to Africa and connect with our people. And it's not so much that. It's like we have our issues that we need to deal with amongst ourselves, and we want to fix ourselves. But when you have other people that can come into the United States and can latch on to blackness, but don't love us, don't want to have anything to do with us. I've experienced Caribbeans, Africans, different people that are quote unquote black that come and treat us like we are less than them. And it's like, where is the black American population in Nigeria? Like by the multitude, shitting on Nigerians, or in any country of Africa, or in Jamaica, or in anywhere. Where is like a big group, right, of black Americans going anywhere and being like, we're better than you? You might have some that, you know, because I've been hearing about business ventures in Ghana and things of this, but you don't really have a big population of black Americans traveling globally to another country of black people and just being like, you know, we don't like you. You know, we have these names, like y'all got Akata, Jarir, all of these crazy ass names that we just now finding out. So you have to understand how we feel, because at the other side of it is this too.
So,
yeah.
Okay, no,
let me just, I just wanted to finish with this point. South Africa, right? I have personally experienced us fighting for the freedom of South Africans from apartheid. I can show you a picture of Nelson Mandela coming to our school
I've seen
in
videos,
Brooklyn.
I've seen the videos when he had the interview in Brooklyn there.
He came to Boys and Girls, that was our school in Bed-Stuy.
Okay, you send me the picture. So
I'm gonna get it. So we have been like speaking against tyranny and oppression and anti-blackness globally, and we just want that back. Like, hey, what's wrong with, you know, stop shitting on us.
Okay, let me pop in a bit. You know, like you said, black Americans are very, very important to the black struggle worldwide. You understand me? And not even black struggle, the struggle, the fight for human rights.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Anybody worldwide, they have spearheaded it. You know, understand? And, you know, why all this misconception sometimes happen is because I think Africans look up to black Americans to be that light up there that's leading the way. Understand me? And then so if what the whole thing that's going on is miseducation. If
yeah, man, touch you on that. Yeah, because it's true.
If the information is being put out and it's being sold to us that these people are lazy, don't want to walk,
gangbangers,
they're killing each other, and then the people who are in charge of the hip hop, the people at the end, at the top there, now screw the message, try to push the message to be, all what they put out right now is black killing black people, I'm going to shoot this and all this gangster stuff that is going on in the hip-hop music. It might not be going on physically within the artists themselves, but what is going on in the music? So all this information is out there and we are bombarded with this. It becomes a problem. But now, okay, now this is what I'm getting into. You know, when we came to Europe newly, Afrobeat was still not, Afrobeat wasn't on then. Yeah. But then we had to latch on being American. You have to dress hip hop. You have to be hip hop. If you're not hip hop and not white, the chicks are not going to look at you. You're nobody. But then you have to latch on to this. You're black. Even the girls, sometimes you tell them I'm African. No, they say, no, you're American. They want you to be American at that point in time. So we Africans were in the vogue. But and I see, okay, when our people saying from the perspective that the black Americans are looking down on Africans. Yeah, I will say the same thing about kids that are born in Europe here, and the black, the kids within black family and the white family, the mixed kids. Yeah. I would say at that point in time, this is what I felt. I'm sorry to say this, but they didn't have value for us then.
Can I ask you a question too? Because I think it's also very important to, like, What exactly did y'all experience? Like what? Because it becomes a blanket because it's not just one experience from one person. It becomes like that. You start to see it's a status quo. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is what I'm saying. At just early stage, black kids that are born here, I mean kids that are born to African, both that has both African parents, black parents, wouldn't even want to associate with an African that just come from Africa because they have this very primitive and negative and they don't want to be robbed of this. And even the mixed kid. And then so we weren't expecting much from the Americans also. Although within the black families then, community then, when we get mixed up with the black with an American, when it comes into our community, he sees a different person and he becomes part of the community. He feels really part of the community and we vibe together. But then, since the inception of Afrobeat gaining global prominence, you know, there are videos, and it turns the channel differently. There are videos, they started seeing videos of them, of seeing Africa from a different light. Now, blackness, this guy started presenting beautiful black women, beautiful black men.
Which I like. I love it. I do love that, man. Being
black now became positive. Being an African became positive.
Yeah.
And now, even the black Americans right now, now sees, because I want to tell you, like, everybody wants to be associated with success.
Yeah, of course.
With positivity.
Of course.
Now the black Americans now see a reason to want to love Africa. And see a reason why want to associate with Africans. Now being an African, being a black person is really in vogue. Because then when it was Americans, people were associating because they were in the white continent.
Yeah.
But not looking at these people achieved this from within the blackness of their soul, not because being associated with being in this white continent. They achieved it on their own for being who they are. Now, sorry, before I jump in. Now let's come about this war within black people. Because I'm like this, I'm very curious and I ask questions. I have friends in America then. I was speaking to a very close friend of mine once and I was talking about the black Americans. What do you think? And we were talking about this Black Lives Matter. I said, those people are really lazy. It's just they just sit down there. I said, no, you don't say it
everything is lazy.
You don't say it like from that perspective because you are a foreigner in this land. The kind of things you do to make money, the kind of odd jobs you do, the kind of things you do when you are in your country, you wouldn't do those jobs. You want to do extra works. Like here, some of us will work non-stop. You work 8 hours, you come and go and do, you're working 13, 15 hours. If you are in your country, you don't want to do those jobs. And don't forget, these people are in their country and they have been conditioned to be like that. It takes years to shed those things off and start seeing things. And that is what Africa as a whole is presenting now. That's why when they come to Africa or associate with Africa, it gives a different perspective. It gives a different view. So what do you think of what I've said right so far?
Well, I do want to say there's two things, as you said 2 points, though, but I'm going to say with what you just said first, right? One of the things about black Americans is like, when I look at my family, it's not so much that my family doesn't want to do these jobs. We do them, and no one cares.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about the black Americans. I'm just saying generally. If you're in your land, there's only odd jobs you're not going to do.
No, but I'm going to go there. This is what I'm trying to say, right? One of the key parts about, and because I'm not going to go into the whole big picture, but I'm going to focus on America for a reason, right? And first, I want to start with the whole job situation. You have black Americans that do and have done every single job, but if we don't own the business, we don't get the job. So you still have black Americans that will do all of the odd jobs. I grew up around black Americans, right? Especially like my grandfather. My grandfather was doing everything. He was doing plumbing, extermination. He was doing building with the houses. He was working on cars. He knew how to farm. He knew how to make liquor. You know what I mean? Like, he was doing everything. So if you just look at the job force and say, oh, well, Black America, and now I'm listening to what you say, but I really do have to say this point too. When you really look at the job force and say, well, all right, you have immigrants that are doing this and that. We're not the business owners. But you are right. In our country, we're not supposed to be doing certain jobs anyway. Why? Because we are a unique people in the sense of when you build a country and then where are our reparations? We done been through segregation. We done been through Jim Crow. We done been through COINTELPRO. We done been through heroin, crack. All of this coming from the government of our country doing these things to us. And yet we still find ways to take care of our families, still find ways to create cultures that become global, the way we dress, the way we talk. The other part that I also wanted to say too, right, is like, when you really, really think about it with Black America, right? Everything I just said as far as with the culture and everything, we did it in a white country, yes. Because we're like, what, 14? Now they're saying 15% of the population. So even though somewhat of what you were saying is true, yeah, you know, like people are looking at it like it's an American label, but there's no American label without Black America. Because how are you going to dance? How are you going to talk? How are you going to dress? All of these things.
How about the sciences?
The sciences, all of this, the music, the point of what I'm saying, even here. You know why Black America is so big here? Because the Tuskegee Airmen, you know what I mean? We was kicking ass, all right, in World War II. My grandfather, listen, you are speaking to a descendant of someone that came from World War II. My grandfather told me about the stories. My grandfather didn't even know how to swim and he was in the Navy. But he knew how to shoot a gun. Why? Because of his instinct. He was connected to God. He got on them guns that he never shot before because they wouldn't even let Black people get on it. The Black people were just supposed to be mopping. He was at Pearl Harbor. The essence inside of him was like, yo, it's real. They watching planes coming spiraling down, crashing into ships. He said, hey, man, one of us, he said one Black man, and I actually looked him up. I'm going to show you the picture of him. He had on like a sailor suit. I don't know if they was on the same ship, but he was like, yo, there was one brother. He said, I'm not dying today. He got on them guns and started shooting at them. And everybody else that was Black automatically jumped in because it was like, well, if he's doing it, then we gonna do it. And I think that that's what the real problem with us is that when you see somebody Black doing something, when you Black, you're like, oh, we can do it too. So that's why they gotta keep us divided. And I also think that a big part of this whole thing with, there really is no hatred between Africa or Africans and Black Americans. I want to catch up from there. Exactly. Yeah.
There is no real hatred. I think the issue about the hatred is really overblown because in every society, community, family, 12, 1 or so ever, you always have ignorant people.
Exactly.
And now they take whatever the ignorant, and what's annoying to me is whenever they want to project the Black community, whether being African or American, they always look for the most ignorant people.
And then they put them in front.
They always look for the most ignorant people to project us with, to talk about us.
And not to cut you off, finish what you're saying.
Yeah, continue.
Not only do they talk about us, but they use them to represent us like we all think that way. How many people in Africa don't have a voice because there's a corrupt politician? You know, how many people in Black America don't have a voice because you have the entertainers? Yeah. So our politicians are entertainers, whereas y'all politicians, you know, in each country. So if you pay attention to what is really affecting us, we as a people globally don't have our representation. Why? Because we have entertainers in Black America, right? The Black celebrity class represents us. And when it comes to the continent of Africa with 54 countries, these politicians
are corrupt,
who are connected to Francophone and it is Francophone, right? Yeah, like the Francophone countries, ECOWAS and all of that. And then you have these other countries like Burkina Faso, right? Like what we were talking about, Niger, you know. And even I do got to give some credit, let me say it right. I do got to give credit to Malema as well, because he does say a lot of good
I love
things.
Malema.
I love him too.
I love Malema.
You know.
So the issue is, let's put it out there. He's an African American. I'm African. We don't have issues. We don't have issues. So don't take the perspective of the ignorant ones among us and overblown in. Because we are all same people. Our mannerism is the same thing. Culturally, we are related. We like the same kind of things. We do the same
spicy food because we about to eat. We about to eat some spicy food.
We do a lot of things together. If you are ignorant about the Black American, sit down with one. Associate with one, get to know them. And if you out there are ignorant about Africans, find one, associate with one, not just one, because the one you might pick sometimes might be very ignorant. Associate with a few others, go to that event, get to know them, because we all depend on each other. Yeah. And we have to stick together, because that's how we grow. Please like this video, share, leave a comment. And let's hear from you. Give us a suggestion and let us know. We need to get some feedback from you and then see how you like the video. And you know, on Afrobizgermany, we always bring it home. And don't forget to check Afrobizgermany online. We have our blog online, and you will find a lot of interesting things to read there. So stay blessed, and Sonny, you keep bringing it home. Thank you very much.
You know how we do, man. It's prophecy. Yeah.